Imagine yourself as an 8-year-old who has recently started grade school, an important beginning to a future that seems bright with endless possibilities. Yet this path is sometimes complicated when tasks such as reading, writing, and comprehension become an obstacle. And not before long, words like stupid, slow, and lack of focus begin buzzing in your ears. Now imagine yourself as a parent of that child. You spend countless of hours working with her, trying to help her succeed in school, but the more you invest, the more frustrated you become. Answering school phone calls have now become a nightmare. What do you do? Who do you turn to? Do you give up? Or do you as parent pursue your options? Good evening. My name is Gregory Borkhoff, and this is still the #1 show in America. Tonight on 60 Minutes, we'll show you an exclusive coverage on dyslexia. Dyslexia is one of the most prevalent learning disabilities that children in school are faced with. It is a condition that has long been vaguely defined and is underdiagnosed, yet it continues to be a significant impact on school children in America. In this episode, you will have a chance to view the world through the eyes of a dyslexic child. This is the story of Mitali and her single mom, Galina. So Galina, tell me a little bit about Mitali.
Mitali is 8 years old. She's very friendly and outgoing child. She's very responsible and very creative. I never had any problems with her as she was growing up until she started school. Responsible. Say it again.
Responsible.
Okay, one more time. No, you can't say one word. It's responsible. Is it so difficult? Like, I can't deal with this. I just want to say that I feel very trapped and out of options. Honestly, I feel like I'm a bad mom sometimes that can't even make her child do well in school. She's my only child and I really want her to succeed. But I fear that if it's going to go this way, she's destined to fail.
Well, Galina, I for one here don't think you're a bad mom. I think you're doing everything that you possibly can, and you're doing the right thing.
Hi, my name is Mitali, and I don't like to go to school. I don't like reading. I don't get it.
One more time. Don't give me this, don't give me this.
No matter how hard I try, I will never do well.
Tali, what are you waiting for? Come on, start from the top. Mitali, we can't keep doing this. I don't want to have to call your mother again.
This kind of stuff doesn't happen to anyone else. Maybe I'm just stupid. I like to draw. I like to make boats. But nobody understands. I want to make my mother proud. But how do I do it? Can somebody help me? I need help.
After many unsuccessful outcomes, Galina has finally decided to take Mitali to her optometrist.
And who is this lovely young lady? I'm Dr. Fechtwanger. What brings you and Mitali in today?
Hello, Dr. Fechtwanger. How are you doing?
Not bad. Why don't you tell me a little bit about Mitali? Oh, no. Back to Mitali.
Shall we? So, Mitali has problems in school. The teachers always complain about reading and writing, and I always get calls from her school. And her teacher recommended me to come see an optometrist.
Okay. How is she in school? Is she up to level, behind, or ahead?
No, she's very behind and nothing is helping. I don't know what to do. She sees well, but I come to you because I am out of options.
Okay, no problem. Why don't you place your pretty little self over there and I take care of Mitali from now, okay?
All right, sounds good.
With us today we have Dr. Furtwanger. Dr. Furtwanger, welcome. And as an optometrist, Dr. Furtwanger, what role do you play in terms of dealing with kids with dyslexia?
It is very interesting that you asked this question, Gregory. We constantly have patients coming into the office, and the parents always ask me, "Oh, I believe my child has dyslexia, has a lot of problems reading in school." Now, as an optometrist, we play a critical role in getting the proper treatment for young child. For example, optometrists cannot diagnose dyslexia. But what we do a basic workup. We sit the child down in the chair, we do basic refraction, we do binocular tests, and we have a lot of correlates that we find during the exam that correlate with dyslexia. For example, child could have accommodative insufficiency, convergence insufficiency, ocular motor dysfunction, basically the eyes don't work together, but not significant enough to be the individual reason why the child has the reading problem. So basically, it is my job to determine if the issue with reading is due to the ocular problem or it is because the child actually has dyslexia. So what I do my workup. If I feel that the binocular system is adequate enough to read properly, I sit the child down, we do a reading screening, and then based on my experience, which I've had for a long time because education is wonderful in Germany, excuse me, I determine if I should make the proper referral to a psychologist, especially an educational psychologist. And we basically work hand in hand to make the proper diagnosis.
We sat down with Dr. Stephen Larson, Chief Psychologist of SUNY College of Optometry, to talk about dyslexia.
Dyslexia, if you just take the word dys and lexia, dys means difficulty, lexia is word. So dyslexia is difficulty reading words. So dyslexic individuals are intelligent people. They have very good language skills. You would never know they had an issue if you met them on the subway. But when they try to read words that they're not familiar with, they have a hard time sounding out those words. So dyslexia is a reading disability that's basically characterized by poor decoding of words that they don't know. But in general, most studies show that it's about 5 to 10% of the population are dyslexic. So that means in your basic regular education classroom of 24 kids, there's a pretty good chance one of those kids is dyslexic. Dyslexia is diagnosed, at least in the United States, by clinical psychologists. And it's done by administering a number of educational tests and psychological tests that are very specific for dyslexia. Again, that's very child-oriented because every dyslexic child might have different issues. So, I mean, we know from an optometric perspective, about 25% of the kids have vision issues, so that's important to address. Some kids have a very poor vocabulary because they just don't read. And, of course, we pick up so much vocabulary through reading, so they might need speech and language therapy. But when you look specifically at the reading disabilities that they have, they need to be taught a very specific way of how to sound out words. And the most famous of the methods is called the Orton-Gillingham method. It's a specific reading method that teaches the kids how to sound out words and blend sounds and put words together.
Dr. Furtwanger, tell me a little bit about Mitali's case.
It's a wonderful question. Mitali's case was actually very interesting. Let me just take a look over here. So Mitali came in with her mother, and she basically presented with very mild problems with her eyes. She had small refractive error, small plus, which there is some evidence saying that small hyperopic refractive error is associated with dyslexia. Not significant enough to be prescribed glasses for it, but you know, it's there. There is a correlation.
So this turned out to be a very interesting case for you guys.
This case was wonderful. Not only did I help Mitali in her problem, but in the process, I was able to, you know.
So you got the mom here, very nice.
Yes, the mother and I had a good time during the examination, and you know, we're continuing to have a good time.
Very nice. No matter what you do, the child is feeling bad. It is our job to make sure that the self-image is elevated. We cannot say often enough, it's all right, you're okay. The story of Mitali is a happy one. You have the power to make yours a happy one as well. Don't leave a child behind. After all, children are our future.
Con los terroristas.
And do the Harlem Shake.